Welcome back to Football Daily, and for today's top 10, we'll be taking a look at 10 big clubs that could be facing the drop this season. 10. Athletic Club. A team with a special place in football's heart due to their recruitment policy, it's already impressive that Athletic Club have never been relegated from the top tier, one of just 3 clubs to hold that record, alongside Barcelona and Real Madrid. This season though has seen them put that record at threat, with just 9 points from 8 matches, 3 points above the drop zone at this early stage. Perhaps more concerning is their goal scoring record, which has seen them net just 7 goals, the second lowest total in La Liga, as well as having the second lowest XG. Scorer of 15 goals last year, 34-year-old midfielder Raul Garcia has so far yet to record a goal or an assist this season. Bilbao's top scorer is currently Inaki Williams, with 2, but the 26-year-old has only netted double figures once, despite playing in every La Liga game since 2016. But with the club also having the second best XG against, you'd imagine all they need is a player like Williams to hit a run of form and pick up a few wins to settle the fans. 9. Sheffield Wednesday. Heading to England's second tier next, where despite not appearing in the Premier League since relegation 20 years ago, Sheffield Wednesday are still a sizable club, with some likely to argue they're actually bigger than City rivals Sheffield United. But regardless of what you think, there's no doubt Wednesday are a club too big for League One, but that's where they may end up. This season got off to the worst possible start for Gary Monk's side, after being handed a 12-point deduction, later reduced to 6 on appeal, for financial irregularities. Having won 3 and drawn 3, they currently sit on 6 points and are off the bottom of the table, but don't expect to see them shooting up the standings now. Even ignoring the points deduction, the 12 points they have racked up would only bump them to 21st in the table, still in serious trouble. 6 goals is the second lowest in the Championship, and with no real attacking output, manager Monk was actually sacked last week. Maybe a change in leadership is just what they need. 8. Hoffenheim. Last season, Hoffenheim were very much the 6th best side in Germany. When outside the top 5, no side won more, and only Frankfurt racked up more goals than the team that finished, you guessed it, in 6th spot. A Bundesliga side since 2008, they've managed a top half finish 7 times, even establishing themselves as European regulars. Sebastian Hoeneß's side even opened the 2021 season with 2 victories, including a 4-1 demolition of Bayern Munich. Since then though, it hasn't gone to plan, with Hoffenheim picking up just 1 point out of the last 15, and going from 7 goals in their opening 2 games to just 4 since. A draw against last year's relegation playoff winners Werder Bremen and a 3-1 home defeat to Union Berlin sums up the season, as they've slumped to 13th in the table at this early stage. Kramaric might have scored 6 times already, but he's the only one with more than 2 goal contributions, whilst defensively only one side overachieves more than Hoffenheim do for XG against, having conceded almost 4 less than predicted. A very shaky start for the villagers. If you guys aren't already subscribed to Football Daily, then please make sure you are. Smash that subscribe button and the notification bell so you never miss an FD video. 7. Burnley. Maybe they're not quite a big club, but Burnley are the most established Premier League side that are in an immediate relegation battle. Top half finishers last season and playing in European competition the season before, Sean Dyche has certainly created an effective brand of football, if not exactly an attractive one. However, with just 2 points from their opening 7 league matches, the Clarets are languishing second from bottom. And although winless starts aren't uncommon in Lancashire, they started 18-19 with no win in 5, the main concern here will be the lack of goals. They've found the net just 3 times. Every other team in Europe's top 5 leagues has scored more. It's not for the want of trying though, with XG suggesting they should have almost double that, whilst defensively, Burnley are also underperforming, with XG telling us they've let in 4 more than expected. With a manager that prides himself on defensive stability, this will come as a worrying sign. Dyche and Burnley have a lot of work to do if they want to continue their stint in the Premier League. 6. Derby County. Staying in England but dropping down to the Championship, where Derby County are at even bigger risk than the previously mentioned Sheffield Wednesday at being relegated to League One at this early stage of the season. Despite having a 6-point head start over their Yorkshire counterparts, the Rams are already bottom of England's second tier. Managed by Philip Cocu and captained by Wayne Rooney, the club have only picked up 6 points, winning 1 game and having scored just 5 goals in 11 matches. Rooney, who's on £100,000 a week, has just 1 of those, whilst top goalscorer Martin Waghorn has 2 goals despite only featuring for half the available minutes so far. After an underwhelming season last time out following a run to the playoff final the year before, Cocu has been under pressure to perform. But with a reported £4 million payout waiting for him if he is sacked, County understandably had to pull the trigger. But with the Saudi takeover reportedly close to completion, there is hope Derby can turn around their struggles, whoever is next in charge at Pride Park. 5. Real Zaragoza. And from England's second tier to Spain's, where we take a look at Real Zaragoza's poor start to the season. They have spent almost 60 years in La Liga, although they haven't been back since relegation in 2013, finishing in the Segunda playoff places 4 times in those 7 years. Last year was one of those, finishing 4 points off automatic promotion in 3rd, and whilst the club harboured hopes of going one better this time around, found themselves looking over their shoulder, with 10 points from the opening 10 matches. This puts them 18th out of 22, with all 4 sides below them occupying the relegation spots. Los Manos picked up 7 points from their opening 3 matches, but have since gone 6 games without a victory, scoring just 3 times. Their record would be even worse if it wasn't for an injury time double by Juanjo Narvaez to salvage a 2-2 draw against Girona. That wasn't enough for head coach Ruben Baraja though, who was given the sack after a 1-0 defeat to Tenerife, as the Aragonese side looked to the right ship ahead. 4. Udinese. Around a decade ago, with Antonio Di Natale leading the side, Udinese consistently qualified for European competition, but over the last few years, they've slipped back into mid-table mediocrity. This season though, Luca Gotta's side have picked up just 4 points from Serie A's opening 7 rounds of the campaign, and sit in 19th spot. Their only victory was a 3-2 triumph over Parma, and that only came because of an 88th minute winner from Ignacio Pusetto. With their only other point coming in a 0-0 draw with Sassuolo, it's been a tough start for the side, with Rodrigo de Paul obviously being their standout performer so far, with 2 shots a game and almost 3 of both key passes and dribbles each game too. But looking at the stats, and their start seems quite puzzling. Only 2 sides concede less than the 8.7 shots Udinese do a game, with XG also suggesting they've both conceded 5 more and scored 5 less than expected. As a result, they're a remarkable 9 points below where they should be at this early stage, a haul that would put them in the top 6. Here's hoping luck turns their way soon. 3. Trabzonspor. The largest club outside Turkey's big 3 of Besiktas, Fenerbahce and Galatasaray, Trabzonspor are 6-time league winners, and last season were locked in a title battle with eventual winners Istanbul Başakşehir. This season though, it's very different. The Black Sea Storm, as they are affectionately known, have picked up just 6 points from their first 8 fixtures, and in the 17th spot are just 1 place above the Super League relegation zone. 5 of these opening 8 games were the same as last year. In 2019-20, Trabzonspor collected 11 points from those games, compared to just 4 this time, so it can't all be put down to a tough start. With Benik Afobe and Lewis Baker in tow, Trabzonspor can't even fall back on the glory of competing in the Champions League this year, after being banned by UEFA for breaching financial fair play. Maybe that's a blessing in disguise though, as it allows them to focus their efforts on improving their league form to something they're more used to. They've only finished outside the top half of the Super League 3 times since 1975. 2. Saint Etienne. In an era of dominance by PSG, it's easy to forget that it's actually Saint Etienne who hold the record for the most Ligue 1 titles, being the only side to win it 10 times. The last of these came in 1981, and more recently, Les Verts have had to settle with a top half finish, with last season being the first time since 2010 they finished outside of it. And, well, that form hasn't changed. Claude Puel's side actually began this season with 10 points from 4 matches, topping the table. 6 games later though, and their points tally remains at 10. This has seen them slide down to 15th, just 2 points above the relegation playoff spot. Only Marseille attempt less than St Etienne's 9.2 shots a game, whilst XG tells us that they are actually overperforming in both attack and defence, meaning that even a lowly 15th is flattering for yet another floundering Puel side. The pandemic last season stopped them being fully dragged into a relegation battle. The same is not going to happen this campaign. 1. Schalke. Come on, was any other team ever going to be number 1? Schalke's horrendous run of form actually began last season, not winning any of their last 16 Bundesliga matches in 2019-20, slipping from a Champions League chasing 5th down to 12th. And with no victory in 7 so far this year, their winless run is now up to an embarrassing 23 matches. 3 points from 3 draws even exceeds expectations, with Die Königsblauen rock bottom of the table on expected points, as the 8-0 defeat to Bayern Munich on the opening day very much setting the tone for this campaign. In fact, despite 2 other teams also being winless this season, Schalke are the only side in the Bundesliga not to have led for a single minute of league action so far. Unsurprisingly, David Wagner was sacked after conceding 11 goals in the first 2 games this season, with former Augsburg manager Manuel Bohm replacing him. Not that much has changed so far, of course, with no side hitting the target less than his new club, who currently average 2.1 shots on goal a game. A lot needs to change if Schalke want any chance of survival this season. So those are our 10 big teams who could be relegated this season. Do you think we've missed out anyone else? Do you think we've been too harsh on any of these teams? Please let me know in the comments below. If you've enjoyed this video, then smash that like button. And as always guys, don't forget to subscribe to Football Daily.